between two conflicting testimonies. Somebody is lying.
Okay, that's my YouTube challenge. Because I see a lot of guitars in the background. D'Angelo Wallace, brother, play me a ditty, okay? Okay, so that was a little blues music. The blues was music that was popularized by African Americans, originated in the American South, Delta blues. Had an influence, basically an impact on pretty much every type of music since. Blues music, the infusion of blues rhythms, drum section, anything with drums, essentially, in modern American music is a tribute to African American music. The use of the drum set as a prominent part of a musical group that you can attribute to African American music. Jazz funk, blues spawns. Blues is kind of synonymous to jazz. Jazz and blues are pretty much, a lot of jazz players will just call it blues. So those two types of music spawn pretty much every music that we have in America today. Okay, so and on top of that, the music of America has been a huge export. Cultural export for Americans pretty much since the days of blues. Louis Armstrong was one of the first American international music superstars, solo artists like that. So there's a long history of African Americans pretty much dictating, driving, being in the driver's seat of the musical culture in America. And fast forward to the modern times. What do we have right now? It's hip hop dominated, right? Even the rock and roll, that's black music. I know it had gotten so diluted in so many years where people don't understand that white indie bands and all of that stuff. Those all spawn from blues, and the further you get away from the blues, the less successful it became over time. Honestly. Rick Beato, I do listen, shout out to him. He even has a video, but a lot. It's not even Rick Beato. If you just study music history and understand that the blues is like a baseline for so many different styles of music. And then when we fast forward into today, there's so many things that from hip hop culture that remark from the blues and jazz era. The individual soloist, which is the rapper themselves, is like the soloist back in the day, whether you were Clifford Brown, whether you were Thelonious Monk, whether you were John Coltrane. The musicians themselves thought of it as the music of John Coltrane, the music of Dizzy Gillespie, the music of Charlie Parker. Not so much, it's jazz. This is Charlie Parker's sound. This is the way he sounds. Now, you could call it jazz, you could call it whatever, but this is the sound of Charlie Parker. This is the sound of John Coltrane. And it's the same thing in a big thing, a lot of the cultural things that remain from the music, it's very important to have your own sound. If you're a blues band, you got to have your own sound. You got to have, if you're a blues musician, Albert King, B.B. King, Stevie Ray Vaughan, you got to have your own sound. Your guitar got to sound like you. You come out and your guitar sound like someone, like you sound like someone else. We ready to fight. Same thing with biting people's flows and lyrics and stuff like that with hip hop. It's cool to pay homage to someone's lyrics, but you got to ultimately have your own style, your own sound. So these musical things, the heavy rhythm, the heavy use of rhythm, the rhythm as the driving force in music, with swing music, jazz music, the harmony, yes, was complex, but the main thing was you have to swing, right? The shuffling rhythms of blues, the rhythm of hip, it's just one of the trademark things of African-inspired, Afrocentric, Black American music is rhythm. Rhythm is a very prominent part of it. Always going to be rhythm. Rhythm and blues. Rhythm and blues turn into rock and roll, turn into punk. Any type of music you want to talk about, we can trace it. Any type of music made in America, we can trace it back to black people in the South. Ultimately, we can trace it back to a blues tradition. New Orleans, things, the melting pot at that time, in the 1900s, turn of that century. So, this is, this is also an opportunity to clown Ben Shapiro, because I just freaking love it. Because he's an idiot. He's very ignorant. He says ignorant things consistently, but he still gets like attention, and I'm like, I guess it's not hard to understand. Like white supremacy, it sells. It's great. I think anytime you want to come out and say black people do dumb stuff, but you can't say it like that. You got to code it up a little bit. There's always money for you, and so here Ben Shapiro is getting that bag for one of his many nonsensical things. And so this is his rap isn't music. I love this video. I've watched this several times, but I love it. I just want to watch him say it.
My case against rap is I have the musical case against rap, and then I'll get to the cultural case against rap.
Okay, now see the very first thing he said. I'll get to the musical case and the cultural case. Do you think the musical case is really that important? No, he doesn't care about the musical case. He cares about the cultural case. This is the guy who sits there and reads WAP on his reads wet ass P on his word for word verbatim. This is horrible. Here's exactly where you go to find it. Download it at iTunes, but it's horrible. Go down the street, cross the corner to the record shop. Tim, he owns the record shop. Been there 40 years. He got that hot off the press, but don't listen to it. But I'm gonna read you. It's like when they talk about crack cocaine. Oh, here's crack, but don't you ever use it. But here's what it looks like, and here's what it costs, and here's what the kind of neighborhoods where you would get it, but don't ever do it. This is what he said. He's like, I'm making the musical case. No, homie, you just make the cultural case. No, because really, you ain't a musician. Because you play violin and shit, you don't study music, bro. You spend most of your day talking smack about people who are poor. He's like poor Muslim Arab people. That's who he talk about. Black people who like cause of their fathers. Yeah, but he don't want to talk about the drug war. Whatever. He a goon. He a straight up goon. He a paid assassin to assassinate the character of African American people of color, Muslim people, transgender people, LGBTQIA plus people. Like that's what he's here for. He assassin to make all those type of people look like dirt and trash. You know what I mean? That's so his whole thing. He don't really care about music. He care about culture. But let's hear his musical and cultural argument. Lil Ben. That's his rap name, Lil Ben.
So the musical case against rap is that in my view and the view of my music theorist father who went to.
In my view and my view of my anecdotal bullshit. Can you cite some text, my Negro man? We don't care about your crusty ass father who plays blink blink blink. You know what, dude? I love classical music. Don't get it twisted, bro. I love the music of Francisco Tarraga. I love the music of Villalobos. I do. I love Mozart. I love Beethoven. I love Haydn. I love Handel. I love that shit. I love Bach. You know what I'm saying? Love it. Love classical guitar. Love it. Love Julian Brahm. Love him. Andres Segovia. Love classical music. But I don't really care about what just you and your father think. You need data or something. Like, that's just, so you already know you're fighting the culture war right away because you don't have no facts. Saying me and my dad is it's like kindergarteners.
Music school, there are three elements to music. There is harmony, there is melody, and there is rhythm. Okay. And rap only fulfills one of these.
Okay. He said there's harmony, there's melody, and there's rhythm. Rap only fulfills one of these.
Rhythm section. That there's not a lot of melody and there's not a lot of harmony.
Okay, and he said the rhythm section.
And thus it is basically effectively spoken rhythm. And so
okay. Oh, wow. I don't even want to have to musically go against him because it's so basic. It's like I feel like so stupid having to explain this. Okay, let's talk about a rhythm section. Rhythm section, traditional rhythm section, as it were. I'm going to go by the traditional, like a jazz band. Okay, I'm going to call the jazz band rhythm section what I'm going by. Okay, rhythm section. Give me 3 instruments that are considered rhythm section instruments. I'm going to give you one. Obvious, everybody knows this, the drums. All right, we got the drums. Now we got the bass. Okay, and then we have the piano. Okay, so now what do we have? Drums. Now, if you told me the drums had no tonality, I would argue with you, but I'll give it to you. The drums does have some tonality, but it's not melodic. Give it to you. Now, once we get to the bass part of the rhythm section, the bass has melody. And if you don't know that, you're very, very ignorant. That's very, 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 very ignorant when you're talking about music and you're talking about a rhythm section and you don't realize that a bass is a part of the rhythm section and you don't realize that a bass can be melodic. That's very stupid. Now, let's put the bass aside. Now we're at the piano. A piano is not melodic. A piano is part of the rhythm section. You do know that. You know a piano is a percussion instrument. God, you're so stupid. I hate that. I hate that little young kids who could be into music and are getting misinformation about music because you're racist. That's really what it is. He's misinforming you about music because he's a racist. There's someone who teaches kids music, well, there's something like tremendously hateful about this, all of this right now.
It's not actually a form of music. It's a form of rhythmic speaking.
So when he says that, what his contention is, do you know what the argument he's really making is? He's saying rappers don't sing. That's all he's really saying. All of that nonsense and me and my dad and all of this bullshit, he's really just saying rappers don't sing. If he had said that in 1990, okay, I mean, maybe I'll give it to you, but like, again, listen to what he's saying.
So beyond the subjectivity of music, it's a form of rhythmic speaking.
So it's a form of rhythmic speaking.
So beyond the subjectivity of me just not enjoying rap all that, and thus it is basically effectively spoken rhythm. And so it's not actually a form.
Okay. It's spoken rhythm, meaning like once you speak rhythmically over something, it is no longer music. It is no. Okay. Now, part of me understands him. Like, if he said it the right way, I'd actually kind of be on board with him. Like, for example, I love all types of music. All types of music. As long as it's not hateful and shit, I will listen to it. Don't give a fuck. Yeah, it's fucking crust death metal. I don't care, bro. I'll listen to every single type of music. Don't care. Love it all. To me, it's like doing fun candy or whatever. I'm not a foodie. I won't eat everything, but I'll listen to everything. Okay. What he's saying, if you extract what he's saying, he's actually saying, again, some really dumb shit. He's saying that if there is no singing, then it's not music. He's saying if it's just rhythm and someone talking over it, it's not music. Okay. Here's where I'm on board with him a little bit. When I was a kid in the 90s, I was more into instruments. I was more into things like the pop music of the time was like, Michael Jackson, Madonna, B-52. I liked more like instruments and rock and roll. I liked classical music when I was a kid. I went to boarding school in England. So that was kind of music that I liked. I liked classical music. I liked the Beatles and stuff like that. And so I had a strange relationship with hip hop at the beginning. I didn't dislike it, but it was very different to me. You know, growing up in boarding school in England, the culture there, like coming to America, you know, I would go back and forth. I didn't get the cultural aspect of hip hop. It was just, to me, it was just music. And the music and the hip hop of the 80s and 90s wasn't very melodic in terms of spoken word. It was melodic in terms of the beats, right? Like there was beats and stuff. So that part would be rhythm and harmony. And melody, but the rappers didn't sing as much, and so I had an aversion to that music for many years. I tend to like this hip hop now, where it's more there's more melody and auto tuning and stuff like that. So I tend to be more into today's hip hop, just all across the board. I just like it all, even the trashy, even like Playboy Cardi kind of stuff. I just like it more than I like the older school hip hop. I just like the sound. I think the old school hip hoppers were deeper, better rappers overall. You had to be a good rapper back then to even be considered a rapper. Now you don't have to be a good rapper to be considered a rapper. But I in particular don't care. I don't care. Like, you listen to Playboy Cardi, you're like, this nigga can't really rap, but he just makes cool sounds, and like I like that. As a musician, I'm into that, so I don't care. So let's take an instrumental from the 90s, like a Nas type instrumental, right? Let's listen to some. Okay, so this is for fair use, all right? I'm not trying to profit off the beats of Nas for people trying to demonetize this. This is literally a short snippet so we can hear the musical. See if theoretically this Lil Ben's right. Okay, so right there we've got a beat. Okay, at this point, if you heard this and you were like, this isn't music, this is just rhythm, if you said that at this point, you'd be a dickhead. And you'd be wrong. You'd just be wrong, and then you'd be kind of an idiot. You'd be like, why does this guy even care? Like, let us just jam. You know what I mean? If at this point you're like, this isn't music, you'd be such a freaking dick. Like, everyone would be looking at you like, dude, shut up. Fuck, piss off. So stupid. Like you would listen to that and be like, this isn't music. Okay. Okay. Already there's actually melody and harmony with that sample. That sample is already there's basically melody, one part. If there's another musical part with it, that's considered harmony. Just two parts of music working together. You can hear, okay, so you can hear the pluck sound, and then you can hear this kind of airy, you can hear the pluck like a harp kind of sound, and then this airy sound over it. Those are two parts, that's harmony right there. Okay, very easy to say. So if I heard that, it's undeniably music. You'd be a freaking cretin to be like, that's not music. Now his problem is that once you start rapping over that, because it's spoken word, now I would say it's not music. Oh man, that's so dumb. That again, he's not arguing about music. That's why he can make such a foolish argument, because it's not about music. It's about fighting a culture war. This is just culture warriors. He doesn't like. Here's what it. Here, let me boil it down to the essence of it, of what this is. White supremacists like Ben Shapiro, and his ilk, the thing they hate the most. The thing they hate the most. I'm saying it over and over so you understand that I'm emphasizing. The thing they hate the most is when the groups of people who he deems lazy, whatever, black people, when they are successful expressing themselves and they don't care what a person like Ben Shapiro thinks. They want black people to, oh, what do you think, Ben? Oh no, he's criticizing me. Let me change my lyrics. Oh no, he's criticizing WAP, but let me change. No, like no, now people just don't care. Like Cardi B is straight up shoving her feminist nature in his face. I'm making cash money talking about the fuck I want to talk about. Fuck you. You know what I mean? And I love it. I mean, I'm here for it all day. Anytime Cardi wants to make a track that offends people like him, I love it. So the idea that like that Nas track that we just listened to, even before the hip hop, even before the rapping lyrics come over it, and I'm sitting there being like, that's not music. Yeah, music. What the fuck are you talking about, fool? Like you could get deep like musically into what he's saying, but like that would be so silly because there's no need for that. This fool is just so he's saying such. Again, this isn't really about music. It's about culture war. He's just a racist.
Form of music. It's a form of rhythmic speaking, and thus But
how can he be a racist? He's talking to a black guy. Oh no, you can be a white supremacist and be black and have black skin too. I've seen it before. I'm not saying this guy is. I don't know. I don't know who he is, so I'm not saying that. But his little like his little grin. Fro, you say that to me, I'd be so stone faced. I'd be like, bro, what are you talking about? I wouldn't be laughing and giggling with him. I don't know who this is. This look like some steppin' fetch it.
And so beyond the subjectivity of me just not enjoying rap all that much.
There you go. That's the main thing, Ben. You just don't like rap. And that's conservatives. If I don't like it, then I must fight the culture war. I can't just leave it be. Can't leave anything be. Fuck, I gotta attack rap music. I gotta attack black people. I gotta attack black people for everything. I gotta say they're criminals. If they're not criminals and they're making money through rap music legitimately, then I gotta attack their lyrics, or I gotta attack something about them. Nonstop. There's nothing that a black person will ever be able to do except for like grin and be a dude. Like the only black people that are acceptable to them are like Candace Owens and Stacey Dash and who's that other Marcellus Wiley, like punchy McHit too much in the NFL, and so now he needs money. Herschel Walker, these type of corny ass motherfuckers. These are the type of black people the only type of black people they accept. Whatever.
It's what I've said before is it's not me. My case against rap is I have the musical.
All right. He made his case. Okay, Ben Shapiro, you are a very, 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 very ignorant man. So ignorant. So again, as you can see, like these are the guys who complain about social justice warriors. They just can't stand them. But why? Because they're on the other team. They're on the other side. They're the culture warriors. The culture warriors fight the social justice warriors. And here it is. And I know this video has been old. It's been done to death. So many people made this video, but I'll make one too because I can't stand Ben Shapiro, and it definitely gives me some form of relief to rage at him.